And it is the 19th of April, and we're here together to make the favorite flower Stamp-a-Stack cards. Are you guys ready for, I don't want to call it a doozy because it's not a doozy, but it's going to be a wowzy. Hi, Sherry Everett. Hi, Judy Sharp. Hi, Sandy Wicklander. Hi, Mary Lemke and Donna Grushke. Hi, Francis and Deb Norman. Hi, Anna Carter from Kentucky. So we got a great class here. 4 fun folds are what we're going to be making, and it also involves cutting some designer series paper or pattern paper. This is a Stamp-a-Stack. When we do a Stamp-a-Stack, it usually includes the designer paper, a roll of ribbon, embellishments, envelopes, all the good stuff, and then a pile of paper. Hi, Sharon Land. And so I'm mentally preparing myself for everything. I did do this class in person on Monday. On Monday morning at 10, we had 8 people here, actually. So we had a nice half of the table, half of the room here full of full of people. And it went good. It was a great learning curve. Doing a class like this. Hi, Becky Gandolfo. Hi, Jennifer Summers. A class. It was good to do a little bit of a cutting. So the cards were designed over a month ago, right? A long time ago. So I had to jog my memory on how to do things. So it was good to do that little bit ahead of time. So yeah. Becky Gandolfo had a nice little surprise for me, for my mom, and for my helpers. So if you see some flowers in the background, you can see that Becky surprised us with some flowers, and they're gorgeous, Becky. I should show them to you so you can see what they look like. It is going to be a marathon, Sharon. I do believe that it's going to be a marathon. So I have this one here for my helpers, and it was beautiful. And my mom took hers. Actually, she got it. She took it home. So she had a beautiful vase with flowers for my mom. So this one, though, Becky, you must have told them that I love purple. And so this is gorgeous. If you look at this, it is just amazing. And I have purple roses in there. And there's even a little bee. I don't know if you can see it right here, but there's a little bee. And the vase is purple, Becky. It is just gorgeous. When the guy dropped it off today, I was just so excited and so happy. It was yesterday that he dropped it off. It was so awesome. So, yeah. So it was good. It was very, very good. It was very much, it was beautiful to receive a gift like that from you, Becky, and show how much you appreciate me, my mom, and the helpers. And the reason I bring that up is because I had an email yesterday morning. Yup. I had an email yesterday morning about that cat right there, my kitten, Tigger, I should say our kitten, and how annoying and how much of a disturbance he was in class on Monday night, and how the cat has to go, and with exclamation marks and capital letters from somebody I didn't even know, from Adam. Never bought a class from me, never has bought product from me, and I had one end of this extreme of somebody kind of being harsh with me, to the other end of the extreme was somebody being amazing with me. And Becky, so it made my day to receive your flowers after getting that email from somebody who I don't know, and telling me how to do my lives. As much as it made it say it like that, but it was basically telling me, get rid of the cat in your videos. I'm here to stamp, basically, is what I heard. And it's like, you know what? My lives are my lives, and if my advice is, if you don't like something that I'm doing, or if you don't like my kitten in the videos, or it's too distracting for you, my advice is don't watch. You don't have to watch me. You know what? But don't tell me that either, right? Hi, Penny Powell. And so, yeah, that happened. And I think that it's probably like 1% of the people have an issue. You know what? You don't have to tell people that. Like, if I'm watching a demonstrator and I don't like X about her, I'm not going to go and write to that demonstrator and say, hey, your live is great, but this, right? Or the next demonstrator does something that you don't like. You don't tell the demonstrator that, because apparently she must be doing something right. If she's got an audience watching her and 4,000 people watching her, or even 100 people or 10 people watching her, you know what? Watch somebody else. And so, Becky, it made my day. I just want to say, like, from one end of the extreme to the other on the same day really happened for me. And when you get negative response or email from somebody that you don't even know, it makes you question things. And I only questioned it for a half of a second, and then I wrote her an email back, and I explained to her, and I was as nice and politically correct as I could be. I should say, not mean and harsh like she was to me, and maybe I was a little harsh with her, but you know what? Like, that's good riddance if that's how it's gonna be. So, but yeah, so I just wanted to, hi France. I know, it so sucks. It does. You know what? When demonstrators do live videos and they put themselves out there, and there's stuff that happens in the background, I can't control what he's gonna do. I do know, for Tigger's sake, he was a little bit needy on Monday night. He was. He needed attention. He needed some treats. He needed some love. He needed something, right? Because normally he just goes off and sits on a chair and it's all good, right? But apparently on Monday night he needed more. And she just happened to be watching that video and she thought it was annoying. And you know what? So be it. It is what it is. Mary Carl's made it. Yay. Awesome. So he's here, and I talked to my boyfriend about it, Tyler, and I explained to him, and he's like, you know what? Tigger's a part of your life. Tigger's been a part of our community since October, and I'm not about to leave him in the house by himself without Honey there. And when we get another kitten, which that is the plan, we're hopeful to have a little kitten here in a couple months, then you know what? He'll be inside hanging out with his sister, and he might not be out here as much. And then I'm gonna have people saying, where's Tigger? Where's Tigger? We want to see Tigger. So you know what? We'll cross that bridge when we get here. But that's what I have to say. And in general, so that's all, yeah. Jennifer has a Tigger as well. Awesome. Tigger Kramer too. Yeah, and we have Tigger Bertram or Tigger Sal. We don't know what his last name is. Yes, exactly, Sherry. Some people just have to complain. And you know what? I have to admit that I'm very fortunate. Hi, Becky. In the course of doing lives now, it's been 3 years. I'm going on 3 years of lives. I've only had, this is the second time that actually somebody had the nerve to reach out and say something negative. The first time was about something about a video I did that it was too long. And it's like, you know what? You can stop it and stop it start and stop it at any time, and you can turn it off. You can make a choice, right? You can choose not to watch something that's bothering you. And if it bothers you that much, don't go back to it, right? Like, we all have choices. And I'm hopeful that the rest of my audience doesn't care at all about Tigger being in my videos and sometimes distracting me, right? I can't tell you what he's gonna do. You guys, he tried to jump up there just now. I tried to ignore it, and it is what it is. So, yes, lily flowers are poisonous to cats. So that is exactly right. Penny, I learned that at Easter time. This flower right back here, you're right. Cats can't eat them, so I have to keep an eye on them. Hi, Laura. Just finishing watching and finished your lantern card. Good job. Hi, Veronica from Tucson. Veronica, your swap cards went in the mail for you, which is awesome. So also, I learned about hibiscus plants, you guys. Hibiscus cat plants make cats sick as well when they eat them. So yeah, so anyway, so that was my day yesterday. It went from one end of the extreme in a minute to the other end of the extreme in the other minute, and I ended on a good note. So, exactly, Laura, and that's exactly it. And that's what I would tell anybody. I always tell my team, I always tell my friends, I always tell whoever I'm talking to when they need help or advice on something, I always say, you have to do what's best for you. And if I can't give you joy and inspiration and creativity with a kitten in the background, because my goal is to do that for you guys, right? Joy, creativity, inspiration, happiness, fun, love. Like, that's what I give to my community of stampers. If you don't get that because I have a cat in the background making you annoyed, then I'm not the girl for you, right? So, because I would have to say that generally the other 95 to 99.5% of people are happy and okay with it, right? So anyways, we have beautiful cards to make. I'm off my little soap opera. I think in all, it's all good. And we'll see if she ever shows up again, right? So, thanks, Deb Norman. So I'm always happy to create with you guys too. Unless it's 10 o'clock in the morning, then it takes me a little bit more to feel that excitement because I think I'm still sleeping. So I don't know if you'll see a lot of 10 o'clock morning classes with me, but today it's at 1 and we're good. Oh, Percy eats everything. So I'm not exactly sure where he is running off and doing something. He was actually on top of my car when I started to go live, and I was not about ready to jump up on the top. He has this thing with being on top of my car on the roof rack. And so when we see him come back in here, what I might do is go shut the door so that we have him kind of locked in here with us. But I have some exciting news. Diane and I started working on the Let's Just Stamp cards today, and I have a card to show with the next Let's Just Stamp for May. I haven't put the embellishments on. We didn't get that far, but the card is designed. So Let's Just Stamp is the beginners class, like geared towards beginners. There's no die cutting or embossing, unless you want there to be, and you have the supplies at home to do that. The Let's Just Stamp for May is Pansy Patch. And so we have one done, one halfway done, and one up here yet. Oh, good, Mary Lemke. I'm so happy. Hi, Anita Myers. All right, so I'm going to flip the camera down, you guys, and I'm going to share with you. I know it's purple. We love purple, right? So we got to put a couple embellishments on here. And so this is our first Pansy Patch card. And then when you open it up, this one we made into a thank you. And the next card we're going to use is Starry Night. So we're going to make, so we've been Googling the pansies, right? So if we go here to my, oh, there, it's not there. I was going to say, I had all these pictures of, oh, there they are. We were looking at all these different types of pansy colors. So the next card we're doing is going to feature Starry Night, and the pansy is going to look like this. And we haven't quite figured out which color combination is going to be for the next pansy. But I wanted to share this with you guys to show you that we're in design mode today and tomorrow. We're going to get Let's Just Stamp and ink, paper, scissors done by the end of the day tomorrow so that I can share them with you during the Ready to Ride class that is tomorrow night. So, yay! Okay, the other thing too, I'm going to share with you, I did get one of the outsides of my boxes made. So if you like this Favored Flowers paper and you don't get enough after class today, this is one of the boxes. I got one box done, and this is the next. I didn't get my cards on the inside done though. My goal is before the end of, before we start class tomorrow night, I want to have these 4 boxes all. I haven't had a moment, you guys. I'm gonna get these designed. They're all the pieces are cut. Everything's ready to go. But I'm gonna show this for you tomorrow night. But while you're working with the cards today, if you're like, gosh, I really like this Favored Flowers, I want to do more projects with it. This is one of the outsides of the boxes that is for the 3D Stamp-A-Stack featuring this class, featuring this product next month. So that is going to be coming up. Oh, you guys, he's on the chair. I'm so excited. He actually went to bed. So I might go shut the garage door so it stays warmer in here. So if you don't get enough of the Favored Flowers, which looks like it's you'll get a pack of paper like this. You'll get the checkered, the green ribbon. You'll get some iridescent rhinestones and little 3x3 cards. So you guys, for those doing the class with me, we're going to do roll call here in a second. But what you want to do is we're going to put the envelopes off to the side. So I'd like to thank Gail Kane, who's one of my amazing customers who got this class. She let me keep her pack here of stuff so that I can use hers as a sample. She doesn't have internet at home, and she doesn't do emails, and she doesn't do anything really electronic. And so she doesn't get the tutorials from me. So I told her my deal with her is that I make one of her cards for the class, and then she gets a set of the cards made with her kit so that she can make the rest without having the tutorial or the video, and she can work easily off the card. So I like to thank Gail. She has always been amazing to me, and so so then she gets the set of made cards. So you guys have your iridescent rhinestones, and we have these 2 packs of paper. It includes the envelopes. You guys give me 10 seconds. I'm going to go shut my door, and then we're going to do roll call. Okay, so this is what we should have ready though. All right. And for inquiring minds, if anybody's wondering, do I have this class left? Oh, thanks, Francis. You guys like the pansy card. Great, great. I have extra of this class, you guys. It was hard to kind of forecast because I started working these cards a while ago, or this class. Like, I had to be careful because I knew that the evergreen ribbon was going to be going away. So I kind of guessed how many kits to make up. And so I have the ability, Mom and I kitted up, I think 56, and we only have 45 signed up. So I think I have 10 left of this class. So in case anybody's still interested in it, just reach out to me. The sooner the better, though, because I have to make sure I can get that evening evergreen ribbon. I have the designer series paper, you guys. I had plenty of that, but it's getting the other products to go with the class. And so we do have the packages ready to go, though, so that they're kitted. So I can accommodate up to 10 more people for this class. So don't hesitate to reach out. If you're seeing this video on the replay tomorrow or tonight or next week, I most likely will be able to accommodate. But we're going to do roll call here really quick and thank everybody for joining us. And now I have everybody in here. We had 8 people for in person, so I'll take those out and go for just the people that did the online. So we have Katie Schmidt. And then we have Sherry Everett, Feline Mays, Miss Becky Gandolfo, Carolyn Ketchmark, Donna Grushke, Anna Schaffer, Shirley Malarkey, Leslie McMinn, Judy Sharp, Tracy Gruby. Yes, Jennifer, there's a PDF. I'm going to do the roll call and then I'll come back to that. Annette Rollin, Kathy McMahon, Francis Rodriguez, Kathy Ballard, Joanne Naples, Karen Woods, Dawn Ablett, Latokia Trigg, Suzanne Neild, Kathy King, Jeannie Parker, Sandy Wicklander, Michelle Dadson, Sue Spigner, Cheryl Stewart, Deb was in person, Mary Carls, Gail Kane, Laura Sullivan, Mary Lemke, Kate Reynolds, Ruth Ann Deeg, Deb Norman, Lori Kaiser, and Cheryl Thomas. And so that's 45 with in person, and so that means I have about 10 left. The question came up, Jennifer asked about the PDF. There's always a PDF when I do an online class with kits. Like Mystery Night, I don't do a PDF for that, right? I don't do one for the kit or Paper Pumpkin, right? So if it's a class where there are cards created and I teach it online, there's always a PDF. So that's the answer is yes, but the question is then further might be asked, well, how do I get the PDF? Well, if you register for class with me and you pay for it and get the card kits, you get the PDF as a gift, and that's part of the class, right? I write it up and give it to those people that take the class with me. And that was emailed out to everybody. I emailed it Friday, but then I sent a corrected version because we had one measurement wrong by 1 inch. And so I sent a corrected version on Monday afternoon after we discovered it. And then the other question is, will this be in my online store? Yes, this tutorial will be in my online store. And you could purchase it after I put it there, which is most likely by tomorrow morning, okay? So yes, you can pay for this tutorial as well, or get it free with the purchase of the class from me. All right, so, all right, a bunch of you gals are here. So we're gonna have to take a deep breath, you guys, because this is going to be involved. There's a lot of paper to cut. The class was designed heavily intensive on using designer series paper. So some people said to me, well, I have this favored flowers at home. Do I really need, I'm like, you're going to use a lot of it in this, and you're going to be happy that you still have what you have at home. And the same with the box class. You'll get another pack of it with that. So if you're learning that you love this paper and you wished you would have gotten more, you'd get each of this class and the Stamp a Stack of boxes, you get a full pack. And so you'll have extra left over to make more beautiful cards. The one thing I did hear people say is, well, the paper looks kind of dark. Well, that's all, I guess, a matter of interpretation, because yes, to me it is dark, but it's beautiful. I love the corals and the freesias with the evening evergreens, and it's just, I don't know, like to me, there's brightness in it as well. And you always have to also think about who you're gonna give it to. Like, are you giving the card as a gift to somebody that might enjoy it, right? It's not always being kept for yourself privately. I mean, I know that we all keep cards, right? And it's hard giving them out. So just think about that. Like, it's who is going to be receiving it and how much they might love having the card. So, and you know, so anyways, I'm just trying to mentally prepare you guys for a little bit of cutting. And normally what we do is we cut for all the cards at once, and then we put them in, and I'm like, it worked really good on Monday to actually cut and then make a card, cut, make a card, cut. It was less like overwhelming, I think, for people. So I think that we're gonna do it a little bit differently this time because we're cutting so much and there's so much involved with it. So I think you guys will be okay with that. So I'm pulling up here the thing. I'm hitting the like button. So anybody else that didn't do the like button, make sure you go ahead and like the video. That would be awesome. Oh, and there's a whole bunch of paper pumpkins, you guys. These all arrived in the last 2 days. I didn't realize that I turned off some of my subscriptions. And so I ended up with 8 extra. So don't hesitate to reach out if you need to get the April paper pumpkin. I can definitely help a person out with that. So, all right. Let's flip the camera down and talk about this. So this is what my mom and I kitted up last week, Thursday, you guys. Oh my goodness. There was 14 times 56 cards, right? So there's 14 bases in here. There's enough to do like the 14 cards with everything extra that's die cut or embossed is in the packs here. And there's 2 card kits in each. So one of the cards, so let's see here. There's this card right here you're going to make 4 of, and this one you're going to make 4 of, right? Because of those flowers right there. And I'll talk about that in a moment, why. And this one you're going to do 3 of, and this one you're going to do 3 of, and because of that flower right there. Hi, Maria Gilbertson. It was chilly here as well. I just realized I'll need to go get the die cutting machine. But we're going to start, I think, with an easier one. I hope. I don't know. Let's think about this. Let's start with an easy one. I have advice for anybody that got this class from me. When you pull your contents out, don't pull them out at an angle. You always want to pull out the contents of, like when you get a Stamp-A Stack from me, you want to pull this out flat like this. Pull it just straight out like this. And then always keep it horizontal. Please don't lift it up and down, because otherwise what's going to happen is all your little bits and parts are just going to fly right out, and then you're going to be missing things. Okay, so we're going to start with this one right here, which is this card. And I just pulled this out of the plastic to explain. You might, if you have space on your table or wherever you're working, you might know that like from the petal pink up is 1 card, right? So that petal pink is 1. And then everything underneath it is for a different card. So if you have, hi Deanna Stell from West Michigan, if you have the space, you could take and set these apart, right? So for right now though, I'm going to leave them on the same pile, and we're just going to cut what we need for this card, plus we're going to cut the DSP for all of it so that you're ready to go. So we're going to cut for a card and all 4 of them, and we'll make the card, and then we're going to cut the next and then make a card. So for today, you guys, I'm not making all 14 cards with you. I'm going to be making 1 of each. And then you can go back and always make yours. Or like if you're watching the replay, you could always go through and make them as you go. So there's, okay, so this is the same piece of paper. Oh, it's this last one here. So you're going to need to grab out both of these sheets of paper back here. All right, so we're starting with this one. And this actually is back and forth. So this is the one side, and this is the other side, and that's what we're using for here, and then this for the inside. So the inside is the easiest part, I'll be honest with you. I started with an easy one, I think. So designer series paper or pattern paper like this is 12 by 12, and this inside is actually 6 by 6. So what does that mean? That means it's really awesome to cut this, because you're going to cut it at 6. So go to your measure and go to 6, and you're going to cut it that way, and then you're going to cut it at 6 this way. So turn it this way. So we've had lots of crazy rain and thunder and lightning today. Some storms are rolling through, and I hear the clouds up there, like the thunder rolling, the bowling that's happening upstairs right now. All right, so there's those 2, and then here's another one. So you've got here. Look at that, you guys. Just in one fell swoop, 1 piece of paper is already completely used up to make 4 cards. So I'm going to set this over here, and we're going to cut this. And I have the measurements, but I always like to double check it. It is 3 5/8. So now you're going to take the other sheet, and you're going to do 3 5/8 by 3 5/8. So it is a square. So there's no orientation to the tall and the wide. You're just going to cut it at 3 5/8, and then 3 5/8, and then 3 5/8, and 1 more. That's only giving us 3 though, but this one we need to have actually 4. So this is a scrap. You can do with it what you want, but we need to do 1 more. And so me personally, instead of cutting it long ways like this, I'm actually going to cut it this way and cut off the 3 5/8 on this side, the short side, like this. saving this as a scrap for something else. Then I'm going to turn this and do 3 5/8 like that. Now this is extra. Again, put it off to the side on your scrap pile. So you've ended up with 4 of these and 4 of these. And to make things simple for today, we're going to pull out 1 of each and set this off to the side because we're going to make the first card right away. And I'm gonna make a pile over here for scraps for Gail. And now what I'm gonna do is come back over here and grab from my petal pink up, and we're gonna grab out what we need to make this card. And then we're gonna put the rest of the DSP back in here. So we need 1 of these Calypso coral mats. We need a little label. This is already embossed for you. That's part of that new 3D Basics embossing folder set. There are 8 of these here for you, and you need 2 of them per card. So just pull out 2. You have this already embossed for you. It's your side strip there. You'll need to have the other mat, which is this Evening Evergreen. And then you're gonna need to pull 1 of these bases out, okay? Now, what's left, put back on here for now. And we're gonna put that there for Gail and put this here and just set this off to the side so that we've got it for her for later. And now we're gonna work on this card. So we've got our base and it's already scored for you in 2 spots right there. So you're just gonna fold on the 1 score line, which is right in the middle, and burnish it. And then it's going to be an exploding book card. So it explodes as it opens up, and it's a book card. And so you've got your binding over there. So then what happens is you just bend back on that 1 score line. And because it's a book card, we're going to shut the binding here with some liquid glue. You could use, you guys always, glue is your personal preference. Tear and tape works. Honestly, if you wanted to use mini glue dots, you could probably make that work. I like to use the liquid glue, so that's what I'm using. Okay, so far so good. Then we're gonna set these off to the side because that involves stamping, and we'll do that in a bit. What we can do is I'm gonna be using Gail's ribbon here as well. The hardest thing that I find with ribbon is actually opening the ribbon without cutting the ribbon. And sometimes like you can squeeze it and bring it up, but I'll tell you, it's not always the easiest to open up a roll of ribbon without damaging the ribbon. So sometimes you can find tape where it starts, and now that I'm doing it on camera with you, it's going to be even harder to do and make happen. Let's see, I want to try to get right underneath it without catching the ribbon. So if you guys see me struggle, I know that, there it is, then you guys probably struggle with the ribbon as well. Hi Hildenal, you made it, yay. Okay, so we have the ribbon open and got that ready to go. This piece right here actually is going on the book binding, and we are going to use a little tear and tape. So what you could do with your ribbon is ahead of time here, we're going to just cut it. So grab your ribbon scissors and you're going to cut 2 little strips of ribbon, and we're going to cut 2 more about a little bit shorter, but those are going to be the overhand knots that get tied on. All right, so then pick which side you want to be up. I'm going to go with the one that's more embossed versus debossed. And you're going to take and prep yourself some tear and tape. So I'm going to get 4 pieces here. And don't worry if the tear and tape hangs over the edge. You can always roll that back before you put it onto your card. So today is Wednesday, you guys. I just realized that it's free shipping day. I didn't just realize it, but I just remembered to tell you it's free shipping day. I'm gonna do it just a little bit off of the center, and I am gonna have it kind of go at an angle to the other side, slightly off center. And then the next one, you know, it's almost like you need a little bit more tear and tape, but we're gonna see if we make it work. You get free shipping today on orders over $75 per order. So like, let's say you're local to me and your order's less than 75, as long as you get me your order and I can consolidate it with something else I'm ordering or somebody else, we can take advantage of the free shipping. I'm gonna put tear and tape now over the top of that to hold it, and over the top of this one. But if you're having your order shipped directly to your house, over 75, you get a free shipping. And I also have a drawing that I'm doing for anybody that places an order using my host code today. So it could be this host code or the one that was in the email. You get in on the drawing for the free stamp set. I'm picking something out of the annual catalog, the new one, you guys. All right, so now I've put a little bit of adhesive on here. We're gonna put this right on that little binding area, just like this. I liked it being petal pink. All right, so there's that. And now we cut these two. And how to do this, you're just gonna like put them both together, slip them underneath like this, and you're just going to make an overhand knot. And I am staying above the middle, so north of the equator. You're gonna take both at the same time and knot it. And just know as you tighten this, I'm gonna go kind of up and down with it so it's not going like that. Knot them just like that. All right, I'm gonna wait to trim the ends until we're done with the card. So now for this one, oh, Mary already got her order in, yay. The other thing I like to tell you guys to do is you've cut your designer paper. Now is a good time to just test it before you put glue on it, right? In case you need to trim anything slightly, you can easily do that before you put glue on it. And what you could do is just like kind of match it all up here and see how it looks. And if you're happy with it, then go for it. Sally likes it, yay! I'm glad that you like it. All right, so we're gonna put a little bit of liquid glue there, and we're gonna put liquid glue here, and I'm gonna put this one right onto the green. So Evening Evergreen is an in color that is retiring, you guys. So if you need to get any of it before it's gone to match this pretty designer series paper, you might consider that today because you get free shipping today on your order over 75. The other thing I remembered that today is we had mystery card night on Monday. So get your card entries in, get your picture of your card submitted by 11 o'clock tonight, 11 Central, and you'll get your name in for that drawing, as well as the Share, Create, and Inspire card. So here's what I'm gonna look at when I'm doing this. I know that this gets put on here, and I'm gonna look for the area that has the most black space so that my flowers don't get covered up. So I kind of rotated this, and I know that this is gonna go here. Whereas if I would have glued it like this and put this here, I'm covering up that big, pretty pink flower. This to me looks like the most blah area right here. So I'm gonna make sure that I adhere this over on the side like this. Okay, then this gets popped up with dimensionals. So we're gonna grab those and put them on. So these cards were intentionally designed that you do not need the fragrant flower stamp set. They were designed that all you do need on the outside are sentiments. So the sentiment set that we pulled in is actually called Sending Smiles, one of my favorites in the annual catalog. All right, Dawn Ablett, I'm glad that I caught you on your lunch break today. I hope you have a fabulous lunch and some good time away from the work. So we're just gonna set this on here like that. And we didn't talk about the flowers yet, you guys. So we're gonna pause on the outside of this card for the moment and work on the inside for just a little bit now. So if you guys look at this, this is an exploding book card. If you've never done anything like this, it looks complicated, but it's actually probably one of the easiest fun folds you could ever do. You don't even need to score anything else on here. Just by folding your paper, you're gonna be able to get that exploding thing happen. And when I originally did this exploding card back for the catalog launch party or sale-a-bration, whoever, I can't remember, we did a 5.5 by 5.5, but in all honesty, this being a 6 by 6, it goes end to end, which is awesome. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna fold this on the diagonal like this. So match up your corners there, and then hopefully it goes out right to the peaks here. And you wanna burnish it, and you're gonna open it back up, and now fold it on the other diagonal. So I match up my peak right here. And hopefully that goes all the way to the end and burnish it. Okay, so that's it, 2 folds so far, right? On each of the diagonals, right? So it folds this way and this way. So it came up again in class on Monday. What was the name of those finger puppet things, right? That you go like this, and it's like how many babies you're gonna have, how many boys are gonna kiss you, and how many, all that good stuff. What were those? What were those called? I can't remember. So now that you've got those two, you're gonna fold it in half to make a rectangle versus the triangle. So we're going to go like that and get that lined up nicely, and make sure you burnish it. Now open it back up, and now you're gonna do the other direction and make your other triangle, your other rectangle, like this. Making sure you got them nice and even. So in essence, we've just folded it on the diagonal, each diagonal, and we folded it in half each rectangle, right? On the straight edges, okay? Cookie catchers, oh, cootie catchers. So cootie catchers, yes, that's what it was called, Dawn. That's what, so the last time I did the class with this, that's what you guys, we couldn't remember them. I don't remember them being called cootie catchers, but yes, that's, I remember that from the live, that's what you guys said. So now with this in the shape of a diamond, I think it's easy if I put my hand over this, because there is a fold here, but I don't want it to fold here. I want it to fold here, and we want to make a diamond. So what needs to happen is this comes in, and this one comes in, and we need for these to get folded back, and then this comes in and it just goes flat, I guess. I mean, it seems more complicated, and I know that the last time I did this, somebody said, hey, can you do that again? And I'll do it again. So I put my hand here to hold this whole section flat, and then you're gonna bring in the top and bend this back. You're gonna bring this in and bend this like that. And as you bend them, these two come down, and then this one goes flat like that. All right, so now what's gonna happen is this needs to go in here, and this is perfect because it goes end to end and end to end. And so how we wanna do this is we're just gonna put a liquid glue on the bottom one. Either they're vice versa, they're like each side is whatever. Like they're interchangeable right now. So put glue on one side, doesn't matter which side. And you wanna make sure that you center it top to bottom and left to right, not too far in the fold here, otherwise it'll get squished. And just kind of set that down to make sure that that's good. It does, it literally goes from this end to this end, and it's the perfect size doing that by 6 by 6. Then what you do is put some liquid glue on this side, and then you're going to shut the card like that and let that just marinate. Let that glue marinate for a second. You guys all agree that they were called cootie catchers. I'm wondering, so I was, what year? Let's say in 1989 to 92 is when I was making those things. I don't remember them being called cootie catchers, but I know what cooties were. Like, that's what you teased the kid like next to you. Didn't want to get cooties from them, right? Like that was the thing. All right, so now did you guys see what happened? It opened up just like that. Yay! So easy peasy. All right, then we have a little bit of stamping to do. So we're gonna grab this. So sending smiles is amazing because all of the sentiments in here are so awesome. Love and big hugs, birthday wishes, a note of thanks, a card to say hello, comfort and strength, sunshine to brighten your day, all the good luck your way, and smiles across the miles. Just awesome. So we're gonna do all 4 of them slightly different. So I'm gonna do birthday wishes for this one. And we're gonna grab a little block over here. And our black ink is the memento. So we're gonna grab the memento and we'll grab a piercing mat. And we're gonna stamp birthday wishes. Now I'm gonna stamp it a little bit closer to the right, just because part of the label gets covered up over on that side. So we're gonna stamp birthday wishes like that. And then on the inside, I have a sentiment that says, wishing you every happiness this special day will bring. I did pull that in from a set, but honestly, you guys, I'm sure you have beautiful sentiments you can put on the inside. If you don't and you really like this, this is still available. This is in the annual catalog. It's not carrying over. And that sentiment is really pretty. We're gonna put that on the inside in black ink as well. So grab one of those white little rectangles and just remember, you need to stamp it at an angle. You cannot stamp it like that because it will be crooked in your card. So make sure you stamp it at an angle. I'm gonna put it right in the middle. And then the other thing, so the set Fragrant Flowers, it has, I'm just gonna clean that right here. It has a little Tetris shape. That's what I call it. It looks like a Tetris shape to me. And it matches the designer paper, which is great. And if you don't have it, it looks fine without it, but I thought since we have it, we're going to go ahead and put it on the inside. And it's in coral. I had a hard time stamping it, I'll be honest with you. I didn't know how to stamp it to make it look good. And I think what I did was good enough. So this is what we've got. I'm not gonna pull out the piercing mat either. I'm just gonna go for it. I've got this one on the side. This one coming in an angle this way. And then we've got a little bit, what do I want to do? We'll do a little bit there and maybe a little bit bigger of one up here. Okay, it kind of matches like that. So that's that one. And then the other side is left white. Fortune tellers. Okay, that sounds more like what I remember, a fortune teller. So we're gonna do one up here. We'll put something like that. Let's do like that. And one more over here. We'll do a long one like that. Okay, so they're decorated. And now you could write your love note on that side. Linda Hall, I like the way you were cutting the paper for one card at a time. I was so overwhelmed when you did all the cutting at one time. So I usually do all the cutting at one time for the ink paper scissors. And it's just because we're cutting one card. For, you know, each one is just one card. With this one, yeah, you know, and that doesn't go in here. That's something I should think about too for other Stamp-A-Stacks is cutting for one card. I know for Irresistible Blooms, it got overwhelming for me too. Cutting all that. So I think for Stamp-A-Stacks, I might stick with this routine of cutting enough for all of them, but doing only one card and then doing the next one. We'll see if that works good for everybody. I'm good with doing it like that too. But ink, paper, scissors, I like to just get everything cut so that we can just cruise through the cards because we are only making one of each too. So I don't know how we want to do this, but I'm just going to kind of put this right in the corner, not the corner, but like the right side. And then this one, you want to make sure you get your sentiment facing the right direction. It's going to go right over here. So being overwhelmed isn't necessarily a bad thing, knowing that you always can refer back to the replay, right? All right, so I bought myself enough time. Now I'm going to go get my little mini die cutting machine because we need to look at these flowers. There's one sheet in here, so go back to your designer series paper and you're going to need to grab the sheet that looks like this. So there's a sheet in there. And this was the sheet where my brainchild of how many cards was like, okay, well, there's 3 big purple flowers. There's 3 big coral flowers. There's 4 little coral and 4 little purple. That's not taking into consideration anything that's partially on the side because you can still use these pieces partially on the side for decorating the insides of your cards or adding more flowers if you want. So when you get this sheet, what I would recommend doing is just free cutting these flowers and making your piles. And you could have possibly done this already. I think I woke up thinking about doing this ahead of time. And then I started working with Diane and I completely lost track of that thought. It went away. So as a group here, this is what I would do is this is a scrap. You guys definitely don't throw that away. Utilize either that side to make something or part of the flower would be fine for something else where it's off the edge. So there's a purple flower. I would actually save this too because that might look cool coming off on the inside of a card off the edge. So you got a purple one here, scrap, a little coral one. Big coral. Scrap on the side here. So we're just loose cutting out this sheet. You're gonna end up using this entire sheet just to get these solid flowers out. Hi, Carmen Sanders. So Carmen, I went into my live wondering if I was going to remember to call you. So I'm glad you're watching. If you got your order figured out and you're all set and we don't need to talk after class, that's phenomenal. Great job. If we do need to chat, then please reach out to me sometime after like 3:30 so I can help you figure it out. That not to say I'm not going to forget, but in case I do forget, right? Because I know that after I'm done with the class, I start like looking at emails and I start, you know, Diane's coming back to help finish designing Let's Just Stamp. So this, you guys, I'm going to put this as scraps back in here, right? For Gail to use however she wants. Now, you're ultimately going to use all of these flowers for these 14 cards. I'm going to go get my little baby die cutting machine because we're going to cut them. Oh, you got it figured out. Good job, girlfriend. Yay. Okay, let's grab the dies. So I got my little mini and I brought the dies. So these dies are on sale in the clearance, not the clearance, the last chance. They're part of the last chance list right now. I think they're down to like $18 and change possibly. And there's 2 dies in here that fit those flowers. Then there's some extra things. I absolutely love that label. The leaves are so pretty. We use these for sale-a-bration classes a lot. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna be efficient right now. And by efficient, I mean we're gonna cut out one of each of the flowers that we're gonna need for the other 3 cards. So we're gonna put a little tape on there to hold that. And we need to get a little plate on here. And I'm pretty sure we can fit this as well. So in case you don't have these dies, you guys could fussy cut these. It's not the end of the world to fussy cut them. It might be a pain in the butt if you don't like fussy cutting, but it's still not the end of the world. We're gonna line these up. Carmen said, I ordered the die for this set just to you. Yes, exactly. You could get by without ordering the stamp set and just get the dies to have it to match this paper. All right, so now what we're gonna do is run this through here. Gotta get it started. Okay. Hi, Ramona Kelp. Happy Wednesday to you. Happy hump day. Ramona, I hope you saw your email. I sent it out last night with all the tutorials for all the classes you just got from me. Yay. So we've got one, and that's for a future card. Now, as long as we've got this here, you guys, we are going to do the other big one here. Hi, Susan Bellamy from Florida. All right, no problem about watching it later. I'm so glad you could join for just a second. I'm glad you could pop in and say hi. Your check arrived today, Susan. I'm assuming it's your check. I haven't opened it up yet. My mailman brought a beautiful card from you today. Like the envelope was had a nice decorated flap on it. So it was really pretty. All right, so we've got this one ready for this card, but let's finish off this one. And we'll cut this one out right away, so that we got all 4 of our flowers for our 4 cards now ready to go. This is like the perfect size for this mini. All right, Dawn, I'll catch you on the replay later. Okay, perfect, Ramon. I'm happy that you got them. Yay. I had flagged your text message so I wouldn't forget about it. And finally the stars aligned where I was at my computer and had my text messages open and saw that I needed to send it. And I was like, yay. I got it off to you, so now you can make your cards. All right, so for class today, for what we're gonna do is we're gonna just make one of each. So that's why I cut out just one of each. But for Gail, you guys, she has the die set, so I'm gonna let her cut out the rest of these. And I'm actually going to help her out by putting the other 3 coral flowers on her pile with that one specific card so that she has it later. And then I think we're done with these. So we'll set them back over there. And we'll get our dies put away so that we don't lose them. And then I think we can continue on to our regularly published broadcasting. So we'll save these for the next 3 cards. And now on here, I do like to weave ribbon a lot. A loop and a tail and a loop and a tail. So that is something I absolutely love doing. So grab a little bit of tear and tape. We'll need basically 4 pieces again for this one. And figure out how your flower is going to go. Mine's going to go like that. So I'm going to put a little line of tear and tape there and one here. And you can pick off your backs and grab your ribbon. And I start my loop over here, make a loop, and then bring it out with a tail so that my tail is close to the leaf. And I might just trim that and then follow up with some tear and tape on the back to help hold it better. And we're gonna do the same thing on the bottom. I want the loop, so I start my loop a little bit further away to make room, to leave a little room for that tail to come out right next to the leaf. And then trim that. You might trim them again later, but I tried to trim it the right length so I don't have to trim it again later. So we've got, this would look better here on white, so you can see that. I got the little ribbon coming out. And then I'm gonna pop that up with dimensionals and also include that little label in this whole conglomeration of stuff. So where did I put it? It's right down here. And I'm gonna put a little dimensional on that side, and then a little bit of liquid glue can go over the rest. Oh, thanks. I said excuse me to myself. And then I said thanks to myself. You guys are so funny. Okay, so we're gonna put this right here, and then this one's gonna go over here. Gonna slightly cover up the label, and that's okay. And that will go right about there. All right, you hear the big car rumbling in the background. All right, then you have your pack of embellishments. Now, I like to slice mine open, but I'll be honest, I don't know if Gail likes to do that. So for Gail, I'm just gonna pull that out of the plastic and leave it out for now. And we'll embellish this for her so she has it. And I love these iridescent rhinestones. Thanks, Anna Carter, I appreciate that. All right, so we're gonna put a few of these on the front of the card. As many as you want, guys. You got a whole pack of them. So use them, enjoy them, ooh and ah over them. And then the other thing is we got to trim the ribbon tails here. I'm going to do the top one a little bit shorter, and then the bottom one a little bit longer so that you get to see that there's 2 of them. The same thing here, and then the same thing here. That. And I didn't Stella anything on here. I'll let Gail Stella her own. You could Stella these flowers, you guys. Oh, I'm going to do it anyways. This flower right here, definitely Stella that. And you could Stella the leaves on it. You could Stella all the background designer series paper because it's designer series paper. It's not stamped. That's what's so cool about it. And so we've got 1 done for you then here. And you're going to make 3 more of these in this class for your Stamp-A-Stack. You have the materials to do a total of 4 with that flower. Now, there is a whole nother sheet, you guys, of that flower. And so if you are so inclined to make more of this card, I think it's right here, and more of, well, 1, 2, 1, 2, hang on. Let's make the last one, that one. You have a whole nother sheet. I don't believe that this got used anywhere else. I'll have to look back, but I'm pretty sure you have a whole nother sheet with more flowers on it. All right, so there's 1. It is called Stella, and it's called Wink of Stella. So if I don't know, Deb Norman, if you're still watching, if you could type out just Wink of Stella so that Anna can see what it looks like, that would be awesome. That you're a dentist. All right, so we're done with this guy. We're gonna set him there, and we'll put Gail's back on her pile, and we're gonna work on the next card. So the next one that I have here was, we'll do this one right away. It was the other set of cards in your this plastic cellophane bag. So we need to, this one is going to be the most intensive for cutting. All right, not crazy, but it is a lot of cutting. The card looks like this. And so there's that flower is here. So you've already got hopefully one cut right here. So Deb Norman said that you're a dentist, Anna. That I don't think that's what it's the Wink of Stella. So I think Deb, hopefully Deb will write Wink. There it is, perfect. Wink of Stella. That's what it's called in the online store or in your catalog. So we got one flower here cut already, okay. And we need to cut this designer paper here, this bottom pink one. We need to cut this one, that, and then that on the inside. So cool. All right, so we're gonna start with the inside actually first, and we're gonna get that cut. So I would still set this off to the side for right now. The iridescent pearls are so pretty. They sure are. Definitely agree. We are gonna need to pull out these both sheets of this. This is my favorite paper out of all of them. You would think that that would be my favorite, but I have to admit that this pattern right here. So grab both of these sheets out. This is my favorite pattern. This was one of my I just love it. I just love it. So pretty. See, I don't see that this is dark at all. I see a lot of bright, cheerful colors. All right, we're gonna start off by cutting the inside. And so there's no orientation to this paper as well. To me, it's like they're all going every which way. And we're gonna cut at 5 1/4 because the inside is 5 1/4 high. So get this to the 5 1/4 mark. And you might as well cut the next one also at 5 1/4. We're gonna do it right away. So cut these both at 5 1/4. You're gonna save this for a strip later. All right, so it doesn't matter which one you grab. What you're gonna do is cut this next one at 3 7/8. So this inside here is 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. And then we have a little side strip. Now, if you're a type A OCD type person and you like for this to be a continuous line, we're gonna cut your paper that way now. Apparently I didn't get the memo when I originally cut it, and mine doesn't marry up or match up, and that's okay. So we're gonna make it so yours is that way. So we need to first cut this at 3 7/8. So you've already cut at 5 1/4. Now we turn it, and we're gonna cut now at 3 7/8. And now you need to cut another one right away at 3/4. Keep these in line, cut it at 3/4. Because then when you use that, you're gonna keep these two together. Yours are going to be a continuous flow. Oh, it's currently unavailable. I saw that. Maybe if Deb is on her computer, she could look up to see when it's back in stock and tell us. And Deb, if you can't, no worries. But we have the ability to see what the inventory status report is to see when they come back in stock. So you guys see that? That is a continuous flow. Now, if you really wanted to too, you could continue that flow to this one, but this one's actually a different pattern. So what you're gonna wanna do, we're gonna cut for all of them, remember? So what you wanna do now is set this off to the side, and we're gonna cut the next one. So this is 3 7/8, and then 3/4. Now that only gave us here enough to do 2. Save this though, we're gonna use it for something else. So here's our second one. And then now, the other one that we already cut at 5 1/4, we gotta do 3 7/8 by 3/4. So that gives us those 3 insides. We're still gonna use a lot of this up. So we're gonna set this. I've got all 3 sets of these. I'm just gonna start making a pile of stuff so you can kind of see it, it's right there. All right, now let's work on this right here. This and this, they're the same size, and it's just the front and the back. And it's 5 1/8 by 1 1/8. Okay, So we can use this piece right here, and it needs to be 1 1/8. So we're gonna cut it at 1 1/8. I don't know what you'd wanna do with this strip. To me, you could use it if you want, but we don't need it for this class. So I'm gonna put it on Gail's pile. Then this needs to be 5 1/8. 5 1/8. This is a scrap. Do with it what you want. So now you've got 2. We need 1 more. And I think we can get 2 out of this piece. Or what we could do is save this piece for right here, actually. It's the perfect height, actually. We're just gonna save this piece. We're gonna come back over here, and we need to cut, we need 4 more strips. So for me, doing math in my head, I need 4 4/8, which is 4 1/2. I'm gonna cut this at 4 1/2 right here, which leaves a chunk on the end that we're gonna use for over here. So we're gonna set that aside. Okay. It always says TBD. Thanks for checking, Deb. So this is what I need for my 4 extra strips I need. That's the right width, but I need the height to be at 5 1/8. So at the same time, I'm gonna cut these. I just flipped it. I'm gonna cut this at 5 1/8 because that's gonna give me the right height. It's really only cutting off that little 1/8 of an inch. And now I'm gonna flip it back, and now I'm gonna start to cut my 1 1/8. So I'm gonna put it at 1 1/8, 1 1/8. So you guys remember this, we're making 3 of this card. And 1 1/8. And the last should be 1 1/8. So that gives us 3 here for our inside. And then it gave us the 3, when you flip it over, the 3 for our outside. All right, so far so good. Then we're gonna do this background piece here, which is actually 5 1/8 tall. So we're gonna take this and do 5 1/8. This is extra at the moment. And then we're gonna flip it this way, and we need to do 3 3/4. So we're gonna do 3 3/4, 3 3/4, and 3 3/4. I think probably what I did is I used this extra random side strip is probably what I used in my inside, but this is extra. And now this just gave us our background piece here. And now what we have left is we need to get this pink piece here. It's hard to see it, but it's this pattern back here. And it's 2 5/8 by 2 7/8. And these extra sides here, this one is actually, it's just not quite 2 7/8. So we're gonna cut 2 7/8 here, and then 2 5/8 here. So there's 1 that goes right there. We need another one. And this one's not quite long enough either, so we're gonna do 2 7/8 on this side, and then 2 5/8 on this side. Little hair comes off there. So that's 2. These are extras. Now we have to go back to this piece, and we want to get another one from there. So I'm going to cut this at 2 5/8 and flip it and do 2 7/8. And then this is extra, and this. So this is what we have left from the 2 sheets. This is what we have left from that one. So I will put that back here in Gail's bag. Got a little bit of scrap left over there. So now, I told you, this is the most intense. You guys, this card is all DSP. Love it, chop it, use it, right? All right. Now, we should pull out the pieces that we need. We're going to make one of these cards. We're going to get one done so you know what it's all about. Get you off there. I need different tape on there. So grab your pile here. You're going to need 2 of these for the inside and the outside. They're the same size. Okay, you need one of those, one of these, one of these, one of the arms. I refer to this as an arm. You have an inside, a pink mat, and another evening evergreen. Okay, so this is extra at the moment. Now, this is almost a full, like you can only get one base out of a sheet of paper. And it was designed in a way that this arm actually came from right here, because this ends up being 8.5, and then you end up with a little bit left over here and a little there, okay? So now going back to your pile here, we need one of these, one of those. Let's start putting this over here for Gail. You need one of those, one of these, and then grab one of these, and then you should have 2 left. So all of this is ready for Gail to make her other 2, and you guys will need the coral flower. And if you grab the other 2, I'm going to put them on Gail's pile here. So this is all ready for Gail now, and once I get the card made, I'll have that ready for her. So, you guys ready for some gluing? This is all a lot of gluing. And before we glue, we want to just test things too. So don't be afraid to like line things up. And I do want to call out that I really cased this card from Anna Rebadou. Anna Rebadou sent me this thank you card, and it was just gorgeous, using the Texture Chic designer paper, some gold foil, that gold ribbon, and it had thanks in there. And then she actually put little squares like that. And then your kindness warms my heart. And so, you guys, this is her beautiful card that I cased, and it was so pretty. I had to make it into this card. And so you will notice that this is intentionally a little bit wider than this top panel is, and that's so that this can fold over nice. It still makes an A2 size card. And then your little arm here too, one side is a hair shorter than the other, so just be cognizant of that. And let's just start laying pieces down so that we know. Like this was our inside, so we're going to put that over here, and then you have a white piece, so that goes here with this like that. And then you have these 2 petal pink pieces. What I would do is just measure these to make sure that they're good. Like that turned out perfect. But if you cut your DSP a hair too big, you could always trim it down if you wanted. But it's always good just to line these up. That one looks good to me too. But you could always trim them if you needed. So I think we're going to do a little bit of gluing. This is where your side flowers would be really great. Remember we had in the beginning some side flowers? I stamped a flower in here, but you could have easily used some of your pretty flower paper and put that in here. So for now, we're going to get glue happy, and we're going to glue these 2 pieces in already. Like this, like that. And we'll set this one on that side. And then make sure you get this right. Not that you glue it down upside down. And so that will go on this side here. Now's the time too, where if it's a hair longer than the white piece, you just need to grab your scissors and trim it a little. All right, so we're gonna do that, and we're gonna glue these together as well. So let's get glue going here, here, and there. And then this one's gonna go here like this. This one can go on this side. I would have definitely, if you want to stamp a sentiment, I would have done it before gluing, but I'm leaving that for Gail to figure out later. And then we got that guy going here. So again, if you have a side flower that you want to put down here or a sentiment, make sure you get that in there. Okay, then let's glue, so these 2, and then let's just measure this really quick in case it needs to get trimmed. I do feel like this needs a little help. The pink is let's see what the pink looks like on the green. Okay, the pink needs to get trimmed for Gail's kit here. The pink could get trimmed a hair. So when you look at it, there's a little bit extra pink on one side, and then the DSP is actually a little bit long. So what I'm gonna do on Gail's here, I'm gonna trim off a hair. I'm gonna give it a little baby haircut, just that much. And then the pink, I'm gonna give it a little trim job as well. So before putting glue on, that's easy enough to take care of. If you would have put glue on and started gluing it, then you saw it afterwards, then you might be sad. So that looks a lot better. So there's a little pink, and then that's gonna get glued onto here, like that. Okay, so we've got that ready, we've got this ready, and this ready. And we're just gonna test this guy as well, because that ultimately gets glued on here as well. So we've got a whole bunch, you guys, this is the gluing madness going on here. Watch this. So we got glue, 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 glue. Okay, now this one is for on the top here, just like that. This one is for on this outside of the flap here. This goes right on the top. I think I want to have coral on the top. Do I want purple on the top? I think I'm going to go with the purple on the top. That goes right here. And then this one, I'm going to do, oh, I like it like that. Okay, so we're going to go like that. Goes on here. And then this one, it's glued on here. All right, told you this card is gluing intent. Like there's a lot to get glued. All right, so the arm. Let's talk about the arm. So this ultimately is going to go on the outside, and this is going to go on the inside. And when I look at this, I think that I've got, when I center this, I've got a little bit extra green, either on my top or my bottom. And that's okay if you don't mind it. But what you could do, if you wanted, you could trim off a little bit off of there. And we talked about this in class on Monday because we had glued our arms down right away. But if you find you're like, oh man, I wish it was just a little bit less green on the top or bottom, you guys can do it. It's always easier to trim off than it is to add. I can't add paper to it, but you can always trim off. And now when I trimmed off like that, I'm like, oh, that looks perfect to me. And then I'm gonna test my inside white piece, and it's like, oh, that looks good too. So you might end up trimming off that little hair if you need to. So we've got this, this, and this. This arm gets glued onto the front. So you wanna make sure you glue the back of the longer edge here. And this is gonna go, let's go like that. That's gonna go center, top to bottom, left of right of the DSP, or the designer paper. Like that. Okay. Now we've got a whole bunch of ribbon. That's about 20 inches that we're gonna wrap around here. And I think the easiest way that I found to do it is grabbing a glue dot and going right to the center of the card here. And I did grab another glue dot, and I did the center on this side. And you can measure 20 inches or you can just guesstimate. Ultimately, you want to be able to make a bow, right? And that bow is going to be right about here. That looks long enough to me. And we're going to flip this around. Catch that glue dot there, catch the glue dot there. And now you can cut it right about here. So that should be enough ribbon. And now what we need to do is grab tear and tape. And we're going to tape it down right there and right there. I'm not gonna pick it off because I don't want it to stick there because I'm gonna be popping this up with dimensionals. I'm just gonna put a few of them on, or 6 or 8, whatever you feel you want. All right. Then pick these guys off and that will go right over the ribbon so you won't see that. Just like that. Okay, so it's coming together, right? Got our inside. We got this, that. Now let's do a little stamping. So you have this white piece. Now the white I did on the inside, I did the really big flower with fresh freesia at second strength, and then I put the hello on the inside. Hello, you called. Is it me you're looking for? So we've got these two things. We'll flip this out. And then that's ready. We're going to put this one away. And then we need the big blocks. This is where this big E block comes in handy. And I find that it is easier to stamp it upside down so that I'm not hanging onto the whole big block. So ink that up. If you leave it at first strength, it's okay. It's just a little bit darker than I want it to be. So that's why I opted to do second strength. So, hang on. Let's find this. We're gonna stamp off and then put this in the middle and just go wherever. Just like that. So it's really soft purple. Purple, and then we're gonna do the hello. I think I'm gonna flip it like that. Oh, it's really raining. I don't know if you guys can hear the rain coming down. We're gonna do the hello right in the center. Like that, perfect. All right, then we're gonna do a card to say hello. And I did it intentionally there. I said a card to say hello, and then it says hello. All right, so let's grab a card to say hello. That's this guy right here. And I think, let's clean. Let's clean that guy. We'll clean this one. And swap that out. A card to say hello is gonna go on that little strip. Now, you wanna center this one left to right and make sure that it's on your block straight. If it's on your block a little crooked, it's not gonna work so good. So I kind of just set it down like that, pick it up while I'm pressing it. Hi, Polly Libby from North Carolina. That's gonna go right. So that's what's awesome about these little sentiments is they're photopolymer. So you can see through where you're stamping. So I centered that one, unlike the other one. And I think we're good there. We're good with this. So we've got our stamping done. And this gets glued on the inside. You could have done coral flowers too if you wanted, but purple is my favorite color, so I tend to do things in purple. All right, so the inside's done. Then now what you can do is tie the side. You should hopefully have enough ribbon to make a little bow. If you hate bows, don't make a bow, just make an overhand, a little baby knot, I guess, or a one tail. But we've got that. I honestly would leave the tails a little bit longer, just so that whoever you give this to, if they want to shut it up again, they could tie it again. So I'm gonna leave them a little longer like that. Now this, what I did for these is I popped up the edges and I did the middle flat, because then my label is gonna be popped up in the middle. So we're gonna do 1, 2, buckle my shoe, 3, 4, shut the door. So that's ready to go. And then let's finish off around the edge here. And what a dreary, rainy Wednesday for us here in Wisconsin. I don't know if it's the whole state or just here in Fond du Lac, but it's been raining since this morning. We had sleet as well. I had a hard time figuring out top and bottom for this thing, and I think I ended up with it like this. And so I'm gonna just set this on here. It does overhang slightly, and that's all right. So we're gonna put that right about there, and then it's flat in the middle, and that's okay because this is gonna go right through the middle like that. Okay, tighten that up a little bit. Now that's your gourmet one, you guys. And then don't forget your Stella. So this is awesome where you could Stella the entire card if you wanted. Everything can get Stellaed, you guys. I'll just do a little bit for Gail there and call it good. And that's it. Embellishments, I forgot. Oh man, mine have fallen off along the ways here. So let's grab, here it is. All right, I've got here and there. I feel, oh, there's 2 up there. So let's grab 2 right here. If you want to add 1 over on the other side, go for it over there. Oh, and I have 1 down there too. So wherever you want, embellishments, your call. I'm gonna fix this. I think I was supposed to have 1 right there. Okay. How do you like that one, you guys? Is it too much? Is it too overwhelming? Is it perfect? Is it good enough? Do you love it? Do you hate it? If you hate it, don't say it, right? Because I don't know what you would hate about this card. I think it's gorgeous, and I think that that's a little crooked, so I'll fix that. But I don't know. It's your gourmet, and then that ribbon goes around, and when somebody opens it, they've got this. They go like that, and it's like, oh, cool, and then it goes like that. So I do notice one thing, that you have to be careful with this part when it overhangs, because that catches the back corner a little bit, but not too bad. And then you cut the ribbon long enough so that you can always make a bow and tie it back up. Just like that. Oh, I think we have hail. I can hear little tings outside. All right. All right, we got 2 done, you guys. All right, we're cruising right along. We have 2 more to go. So we're gonna set this over here. Ramona loves it. Yay, Donna loves it. Good, good. Very pretty, needing ideas to use up the couple of packs you have. Yes, this is the perfect class for it. All right, so now this one, you guys, is next. So you should have another set of papers like this. The top one is this one. That's what we're gonna work on next. Again, as you pull these out, please be careful not to head it sideways, right? What you're gonna want on this one, we're gonna set it off to the side for the moment and grab our designer paper. So grab your cutting tool back out. We're gonna cut that green. That green one was my least favorite pattern in this whole kit. I don't know what it was. That looked dark to me. But we brightened it up with a little bit of fresh freesia. So it's a normal size mat for this one. So it is 5 1/4 by 4, and you need 3 of these. So we're gonna cut this at 5 1/4 and then by 4. And that uses up this whole strip right here. So you got 4 inches and 4. Oh, you guys love it. Good, good, good. So these are the pieces. Oh, I just noticed that I didn't have my little edge up here. So I can trim that with my scissors. Take that little fraying off of there. So you need 3 for this one. So you got the 3. That's the outside. This one is where the big flower comes in. So this guy right here, we pulled that aside. The inside, this is the one where we had an incorrect measurement and we figured it out. It did originally say 10 1/8, but it was supposed to be 11 1/8, right? So that pattern paper, you need to grab that out. So you guys, this is leftover with the other sheet. And you need to grab this sheet, both of them. You're gonna need to make 3 of these. All right, so the height on this one is 5 1/4. And it's by 11 1/8. To me, there's no direction to this. So you can do 2 things. You could cut this at 5 1/4 and 11 1/8 after. So we'll do 5 1/4. And we're gonna do 5 1/4. Now I like to leave the raw factory edge as the main edge. And so we'll do 5 1/4. This is left over. We need 1 more. So let's cut 1 more at 5 1/4. So at the moment, this is extra and this is extra. So I'm gonna set this off to the side. And we need 11 1/8. And you know that this is 12. Hi, Gwen Petrashek. Instead of pulling out the arm and cutting it at 11 1/8, you could just cut it at 7/8 inch, right? So just cut it at 7/8. because that will give us 11 1/8. So that's extra. So the debacle was I already had sent the instructions, and you could have potentially cut your designer paper at 10 1/8. And I apologized for that error. And I also have a solution for that error. Thank you to Karen Wetstein. She had hers cut already. And then we figured out the mistake in class, and she went home and she improvised. So I am going to share that with you guys in case you, so these are 3 scraps. I'll put that on the scrap pile. In case you already had yours cut and you didn't, and you don't have more paper, right? Because that could happen. I'm going to show you how Karen did the inside of her card so that you can see the fix for it. So what she did is, what she did was just to share with you what I did with number 3, where my inside DSP was cut too short. Just in case someone else has theirs cut too short, this is the idea. She cut a small strip of DSP about 3/4 inch, and then she cut a 3/8 evening evergreen and wrapped the ribbon around it. And so this is what she did. So it ended up being an inch too short. And so she did ribbon with the designer paper, and I think it turned out really pretty. So what happened is you're going to be an inch short if you cut it per my original instructions. So this is a fix, and everything is fixable, you guys. It really is. So that's it for cutting. Now I am personally going to pull out my scoreboard, you guys, because I do not like personally using anything but my scoreboard for scoring. I am not the biggest fan of using that paper trimmer for scoring. I love this. And we're going to score all of these at the same time. And, oh, I got to go find the card. Oh, they're right here. Hang on. They're right here. So let's find the right one. We have a lot of scoring to do. So let's find which one it is. It's Evening Evergreen, and it's this one. Okay, and see, I don't know why I had, it's right here, 11 1/8, and for some reason I never crossed that off, and that is why we have the error. Okay, so we have to score 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. So it's scoring at 4 7/8. I lied already. 4 1/4. Oh, stop. I gotta read my notes better. 4 1/8 is the first one. So 4 1/8, and then 4 7/8, 5 5/8, 6 3/8, 7 1/8. Okay, so let's set that off to the side, and we're just gonna do all these for Gail right away, and we'll go through the process again. 4 1/8, 4 7/8, 5 5/8, 6 3/8, 7 1/8, and one more for good measure. 4 1/8, 4 7/8, 5 5/8, 6 3/8, and 7 1/8. We'll save one aside for us to work on, and I'll put the other 2 with her kits. And what we're gonna do is grab what we need here. So this is the one we're gonna make. So again, where the green base is, so this is for the card that we're actually gonna use. It's on the bottom here. So the bottom one, grab a base, grab a vellum piece, grab a little die cut. We're gonna cut the freesia, the white, and then you need DSP and the purple. So this is the rest for her kit. So I'm gonna set that off to the side here, and we'll go ahead and get started. So let's look at the outside, and all it is a note of thanks stamped on the outside. So we're gonna grab our Sending Smiles, and we're gonna make this one say a note of thanks. So let's clean this off and grab a note of thanks. How's everybody doing? You guys keeping up okay on this? I'm hopeful that you guys are doing okay. I know it's a lot of cutting, so, and that's not normal, right? Normally you guys, when you get classes from me that aren't Stamp-A-Fit classes, you guys have everything cut ahead of time. So this is one where it makes you work for your card kits here. So we're gonna do a note of thanks, and I'm gonna center that as well, like that. And I don't know if, Oh, I did a little side flower on the side here. So you could, that's where you could use a little side flower. And that's it for stamping, you guys. Really not a lot for this one. So this one's more labor intensive with assembly. So let's grab our base, just fold that in half and burnish the edge. Okay. And where did I put the card? I was like, what does the front look like? It's over here. Okay, good. There we go. So we need a little bit of tearing tape. So you guys, I hope you know that this class is gonna be a little bit longer than I usually keep classes, about an hour and a half to 2 hours. This one we know is gonna be a little bit longer because of having to cut all the paper and because it is a fun folds class. So again, if anybody needs to get going because they have other things going on, you know, don't hesitate to come back and watch the replay later. It's okay. You know, you guys have things you need to take care of. I get that. So I'm gonna put one like this, and then we're gonna just trim this. We're gonna do another one. I'm gonna do it so that they're slightly offset of each other so that you can see that there's two of them and it makes it look just a little bit thicker of ribbon. And then put this over the top like that. And now that we have the ribbon down, we can go ahead and glue this. No, Polly Libby, the only time that I give measurements in a tutorial are for the people taking the class or if you purchase the tutorial from me. It's a free gift to those people who purchase this class from me. But if anybody wants to purchase the tutorial, it's $11. It'll be in my online store by tomorrow morning. And it has pictures of insides, outsides, it has measurements, it has instructions, and you are definitely able to purchase that, no problem. But I don't do a blog per se, so I don't generally post other stuff. I have so much designing that we do for classes, I don't have time to like put measurements on a blog, just for the heck of it. So, but I do make sure I write a tutorial every time I do an online class so that the students who take the class with me have that to refer back to without fail. All right, so then that's here. And also too, I don't know if people that are newer to me that are getting classes, if you ever can't find a tutorial, I am more than happy to email it to you again if you ask me nicely. I don't mind, right? I don't always get it immediately to you, but I definitely am pretty quick about getting back to people. Like if it's 2 years later and you say, oh my gosh, I'm going to make these cards now. First I do, honestly, I cringe. I'm like, oh no, 2 years. Life gets busy, I get it. So I gotta tease you a little bit, but I always love it when cards get made and put together. So if you're 2 years into having a class and you need the tutorial sent to you, you just ask me for it and I will send it to you. All right, so you guys see that the liquid glue, you can see it through here, but I didn't care because I know I'm gonna be putting my flower over the top of that. And we're gonna do the same thing with this flower. Oh, you're very welcome, Polly. I do the same thing with this flower right here. We're gonna put our dimensionals around the edges of this. And my team, so another way to get my tutorials, you guys, in case you're wondering, if you're on my team, I have a files section in the Be Happy Stampers Facebook page, or team group, whatever you wanna call it. And every one of my tutorials from the beginning of time of when I was, I think it must be, we looked back, it was March or February of 2019 is when I started putting my tutorials on the webs or on my team page. So if you're on my team, you can go back and access all of them, download whatever you want. You have access to it as long as you're actively on my team. Not actively, I mean, yeah, I guess active, like if you're if you're still active on my team, you have all the access you want to get my online tutorials at no charge, because that's a perk of being on my team. So you guys, we're gonna pull out the handy dandy tried and true little ribbon maker here. We haven't done that for a little while, but we are going to make a double bow that's on the side here. So let's put that around the edge here. I like to give my team discounts on like Stamp-A-Stacks. They get discounts on team events. They get access to my tutorials. We do team challenges in the group. So I like to have little perks for my team for ways to give back when people pick me as their team leader. So that's how you do the bow maker in a nutshell. We're going to pop this one up right here with the 4 dimensionals again. And let's put that here. Yeah, you guys, I don't know if you saw it, but I created the next retro swap party. I know, Polly, you were part of that. Your swaps are getting mailed to you as we speak. I've got this kind of lined up right about here. And then we're going to put a glue dot with the bow. So we had the date set, which was October 22nd. Oh my gosh, you guys, I finally used up a roll of mini glue dots. It's time to grab another one. We had it set for October 22nd. It's going to be at 3 p.m. again. The Facebook event is created. The website event is created. And in a few days, I have an email scheduled to go out that you will be able to see as well. And you can go already and sign up already. Like, we had so much interest right after the event. People are like, can we sign up and start making cards already? And I'm like, I don't see why not. So we're going to put this one. Let's see where this bow is going to go. It's going to go right. You know what? We're going to lift this up ever so slightly right here. And then our bow is going to go right there on the side to make it look like it's in line with the ribbon that's on the back side. And let's pull our tails down. Now when your tail does that, it goes like whatever which way you don't want it to go. I just put another glue dot underneath, and then I set it into the glue dot, and then I show it who's boss is what we say. So yes, Radically Retro Swap. We had a group discussion after the event was done, and we decided, because so many more people said, oh, I would have signed up for more groups had I known this was what it was about. Well, that doesn't help the number of cards, you know, because we cap each group at 20. Next time we're going to cap the cards at 24. And so they're going to be a little bit bigger groups. And we're putting 5 groups total. So 5 times, what was 25 times 24 is almost 125 cards. It's a lot. It's a lot. So it's a lot to make. So let's work on our inside, you guys. We got the outside pretty much done except for embellishments. We're going to work on this inside. And it's not that difficult. It's not complicated. You have your score lines. We scored this earlier. So you're going to bring one forward like that. Burnish it. And then this one goes back. This one goes forward, backward, forward. And I'm seeing something happening here. Let's see what happened, why that's like that. I wonder if it's too long. Okay, no, it's not too long. We're going to just trim the end. I'm not quite sure what just happened there. This did not happen to us on, that didn't happen to us on Monday. So what I'm seeing here is one end is longer than the other one. It's not the worst thing. We can work with this. I know that this one is too long. And what we're going to do is we're going to trim it even, I think, because this is going to get shut down on this. And I think we're just going to trim that off and make it so it's even. I don't know exactly what just happened in terms of that measurement, but to make this right, we're just going to trim off about that much, and then that should be pretty close to even. And maybe that 1/8 of an inch wasn't supposed to be there. I guess I'll look at that in a little bit closer detail after we put it together. This will get glued down in here, right about here. Okay, so let's do that. Figure out if there's a top and a bottom direction to it. I think we'll go like this. So first we're going to glue this in and get that set. And it is a hair longer than the other side, and that's okay. I'm not trying to jam this into the corner or to the fold because it's not going to sit nice then. I'm going to go like this. Okay, see, that's good. So we've got that little border around there. And then this side, we're going to put glue on here now. Is that... well, that's possible, Hildy, but I could have sworn that I cut off 7/8 inch. I'm going to measure this. So this gets put down in here now. Let's measure it really quick. Let's see here. I've got my ruler. This was it's 11 and an eighth. So it says it's 11 and an eighth. Let's just look at the inside and see what it looks like. Like, to me, it looks pretty good. If anything, I could have had like a slimmer, like a little sliver of more DSP here. So, I mean, but all in all, in a nutshell, that's the look we're going for. You just wanted a little evening evergreen all around here. And now what happens is you've got this like opening right here. And what happens is you need to put this white piece in here. How long is the inside DSP supposed to be? I searched my email and I only have the email from Friday that states 10 and an eighth. Deb, it's supposed to be 11 and an eighth. It's supposed to be 11 and 1/8. I've got it written right here. It's supposed to be 11 and an eighth. So the email I sent on Monday at like, I think it was around 3 o'clock was the updated one. So you guys, what I'm gonna do is take my tearing tape and line this up in the inside here. And I'm gonna line up another one on the other side. Deb, check your emails from Monday. If I had you on the email, oh, Deb, you signed up for this class. You know what, Deb? I just realized what happened. You got the email on Friday because you're part of the Be Happy Stampers, right? And you didn't get the actual email for class because you didn't sign up for it until Saturday when you came for sale-a-bration celebration. That's when you signed up for the class. So what I'm trying to do here, you guys, is I'm trying to get the margin being the same here. So Deb, you didn't get the update because I never updated the team, because I'm gonna send the team an updated file in the Be Happy Stampers. So that's why, Deb, you didn't get that updated one. That makes sense to me. So this now is just gonna shut right on here like that. I would highly recommend like that you stamp your sentiment beforehand, but I'm gonna leave it blank for Gail so she will probably just write. So when you write in here, you guys, you're gonna have to be a little bit careful. Like you're gonna have to hold it like this and then write your note like that, because the card really goes like, it flips like this and it flips like that. It just really gets to showcase off the DSP. So Deb, I will send you, I'm gonna make a note here. I need to make sure to forward you, I will forward you the actual email. You signed up Saturday, and I don't think I ever sent you the actual signing up for class email. I mean, you will get it when I send it to the team, but I'd rather have that correspondence correct. All right, so you guys, that's how you do the inside. It really wasn't complicated. I hope that made sense. And then what you guys do is just go back and Stella whatever you want to Stella, and make sure to add some embellishments on here. So let's see, I've got this one here. Let's see. I've got here, there, one there, there, and one biggin complete with tiger fur right there. All right. All right, in a matter of time, I'll have Gail Stella her own, but super cool layout. If you are wanting to use up some beautiful DSP and make a wow card when you have somebody open it, it's like, wow, that's in the inside, really? Super cool. That's that. Yes, I love it. Thanks, Deb. I'm glad you like this card. All right, so that's that card. So let's set this over here. Cool card, Mary says. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys like that one. The last card is our pleated pleated skirt technique. So it's not a fun fold in a sense that you open it up and it's got some sort of something going on. This one is the pleated skirt on the outside, and we're gonna do that, cut that as a group here. So you already should have your flower. We talked about flowers earlier. So let's grab that piece of designer paper and do this last card. And let's see here, let's put this away and grab Purplicious. And this one you're making 4. So you're gonna need both of these sheets. So in all honesty, you guys, this is what we would have left in this pack. You have only 2 full sheets, and then you have 2 half sheets. So you like have 3 sheets and then scraps left. So we went and used about 9 pieces of DSP out of here, which was, that was a lot. All right, let's grab our measurement for this one, and let's look at this really quick. And it is this one. Okay, so we have here, we need 10 by 5 1/4, okay? So let's grab our cutter, and it's 10 by 5 1/4. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut off 2 inches to make it my 10. So I'm gonna cut off 2 inches. And then if I wanted to, I could save right here this. I have a little bit on the inside here. So I'm gonna save this to do that. And on this one, I'm gonna cut it at 2 inches again because I need it to be 10. Okay, and now, so that's 10 is our length, and now we need it at 5 1/4. We need this one at 5 1/4. This is extra. We need this to turn, and now we need to get this at, we're making 4 of these, everybody. So 5 1/4 and 5 1/4. Now to get our inside, what you could do, I think these are only 10 inches long, if I'm not mistaken, because that's what we cut them at originally. We could leave them at 10 and use these up and just have it so that you have a little white on the top. So let's do that. So we're gonna cut these at 5. Well, actually, this is something about 1 1/2. So we're gonna cut these at 3 1/4. This is gonna be our inside strips, you guys. So we're just gonna cut that in half. And then we're gonna switch these over and do it at 5. And then 5. So there's our 4 insides, and that leaves these strips and this strip right here to make something else with. That's extra. All right, and we've got our 4 inside strips ready to go, so we'll save one off to the side. And we have a little bit of work to do with preparing this, and it involves scoring, which again, I'm not the biggest fan on that cutter thing, so I like to pull out my scoreboard. And what we need to do, is we have it in the score like this, and we're gonna score it a lot, okay? You need to score it from each side, 1 inch, 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 3, 4, 4 1/2. Flip it around and do it again. 1, 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 3, 4, 4 1/2. Do it again for Gail. We're gonna do 1, 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 3, 4, 4 1/2. Turn it around. 1, 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 3, 4, 4 1/2. Okay, do it again. I have this feeling that I think Gail would greatly appreciate you guys hearing this multiple times and for her to have it done for her. Oh, Sarah wants the card class. Yay, Sarah. All right. I will sign you up for this class. And if you don't mind, I think you have the MS benefit that we're going to ship out in not next week, but the week after. If you're okay with me holding on to it and saving you a little shipping, I could give you a little bit reduced price, like a few dollars, $4 off usually is what I do. And I'd mail them together later. So 1, 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 3, 4, 4 1/2. You guys that got the PDF for this, the measurements are already in the PDF. 1, 1 1/2, 2 1/2, 3, 4, 4 1/2. All right, we're not done yet though. That just scored everything. Now what we need to do is, I'm only gonna do one for Gail, but what we need to do is grab a pencil and a ruler, And we need to, that's a big ruler. We need to go down 2 1/8 inch from each side. Let's see which ruler side I like better, this one. So we need to do 2 1/8 and make a tick mark. So 2 1/8, 2 1/8, and then flip it over, do the same thing. 2 1/8. You've got a little wiggle room on this. If you guys don't get it exact, it's okay. 2 1/8. I'm doing it on the back because it's easier to see than this side. Oh man, it was really hard for us. So I made little marks here, here. Now, I don't have to make a mark on this one unless I want to. There's the original first score line here, right? When you fold this like on the first score line, that is 4 1/2 inches. And what we need to do is we need to now cut from that score line to that top green mark. So I'm going to line my green mark up right here where it's going to cut. If it helps you guys for visual purpose, put a tick mark right where that score is. So now I can see it's right here, right there. I'm gonna try to zoom in so you guys can see I got a little green mark there and I got a little green mark right, oh, it's off the camera. Oh, here. Yep, now you can see. Green, green. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is cut this off. And whatever you wanna do with this triangle, you can. And now we gotta do the same thing on this side. Find the little green mark, find the little mark, cut the triangle off. Okay, so we've got it looking like that. Now we gotta do the other side. It did help to have a little tick mark. So now on the other side, we have, hang on, I'm feeling for it. I think I cut it in the wrong spot. It needed to be that middle inch panel. Ha ha, you guys. It's not the end of the world, but okay, let's flip back out. And I should have done this in the beginning before I cut that off. In all honesty, like I cut it to the wrong spot here. It needed to get cut here. So our angle is gonna be slightly off. It's okay. The easiest way to, and learn from what I just figured out, it is easy to find the middle, right? So this is the middle inch right here. There's a middle inch. What we really needed to do was cut it. We needed to cut it at the middle inch, not the 1/2 inch later. I thought I was there, but I wasn't. So it's an easy fix because we just have to reassess our points, and the angle is gonna go from the green here to there. And so now I'm just gonna trim that little sliver off. And I'm gonna do the same thing here. I'm gonna find my green one right there and right there. It just needs to go to that middle. It needs to go down from the middle there. All right, so let's make sure we do it right this time. So we have to do it twice. So find the middle inch, that middle inch, and put a mark there and put a mark there. And then now you have your green marks still here. They haven't changed. And you're gonna go from here to there. And then you're going to flip it this way, find your green mark, like that. So now when you hold it like this, it should be identical on both sides. Just recut the angle. Yep, exactly. That's what we just did. Now you guys, if you want to do something with these scraps, you definitely can. Okay, so now that we have this done, now we get to do the fun part, you guys. We get to do the pleat, right? We need one more piece of DSP here. I just realized there's one more piece left here, and we'll grab it really quick. It's actually, you need it from, it's on the back side. When you flip over your strips here, this is where you need it from. So you're gonna need 2 of these here. And this is 1 1/8 wide by about 5 inches. And this is perfect because this is 10 inches. So you're gonna cut this at 1 1/8. Let's get you up here. And then by 10 divided by 2 is 5. So that gives us, this is one piece and another piece. And now we're going to cut this at 1 1/8, which is right here. This is an extra scrap. And now we're going to cut it at 5. Don't worry about scoring on this. We're only using this to make like a little belly band kind of for it. So 5. All right, so there's our extra scrap. Now we can get this cutter out of the way. We got done with our scoring, and now we can assemble. So we needed these pieces. Okay, so we need one of those. Let's put this over here. How do you do this pleating part? It's actually quite simple. You have your 1-inch middle here, but you want to see flowers. So now we're going to bend this back this way, and you just pleat it back and forth like that. Okay, and now I would take my bone folder and burnish that. And now the other side, that gets folded in, and that gets folded back, and these should meet in the middle there. And then 1 inch out, 1/2 inch back. 1 inch out, 1/2 inch back. Okay, this is like what we got. Now you're like, well, how do you keep it together? Your call. If you want to tape from the back, great. If you want to tape from the front, fine. But what I would do is I would help hold that flat like that. And I'm going to grab a piece of tear-in tape like that. And I'm going to use my ruler to hold this flat. And I'm going to run that tear-in tape along the back like that. Okay. Not done yet though. Not waste that. We're going to do some extra tearing and taping along the back to help keep holding it. And I'm going to do one right along the edge here, and I'm going to do one more right there. Okay, so we've got this prepped and ready to go. Let's pull out the rest of our pieces. How about that? So grab that last card kit that you guys should have, and in here you have a fresh freesia that's already embossed with the metal plate. That's where this is going to go. You have a little white label. Now, I had extra of these. They were from the Cracker Jacks die cuts. We had extra, so instead of giving you the Sending Smiles, you guys everybody got a different, shorter, rounded edge one, and that's what's in the kit. You also have a vellum circle that's already cut. You have a white for your inside, and you have a regular evening evergreen. So now what we're gonna do for Gail is we're gonna put all of this back on here, and 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And now her pile is complete. We can put this last card together. So grab your evening evergreen base and burnish it. Okay. And let's finish doing this. So this is going to get set on here like that. So I'm at the point now where I'm going to pull off all of my backs of my tear-in tape, and very, very carefully lay this down onto my embossed fresh freesia mat. Kind of look at it. Do you see if the flowers are going a certain direction? I like it better like this. So I'm going to catch that top and center it, and then try to make sure it's straight going down the edge. Okay, that should all stick. And you're gonna grab your scissors, and if you're a hair too long, just trim that little baby off right there, like that. Okay, looking good. Now you have one of these. It's not embossed, it's not die cut, it's not scored, and that's okay. All we're gonna do is grab tear-in tape. Bless you, baby. What we're gonna do is put tear-in tape right here, and that's going to catch our designer paper, and all we're going to do is hold it from the front and eyeball it and just fold one edge over, and then you're going to fold the other edge. Very good. It just helps to make it look more finished on the edge. And then now we're going to put some ribbon. So we're going to grab 2 pieces here, waiting in the wings, and to make it easy, we'll just cut off 2 pieces like that. And one's going to go slightly above the middle, and one's going to go slightly below the middle, so they're overlapping. So you see it a little bit darker. Hi, Karen Wetstein. So that's what we've got so far. And then we're going to make our little sandwich in the back. And liquid glue this. To the front of the evening evergreen base. Ha, and that's where it all comes together. Okay. You have this little flower. We're gonna grab more tear and tape, and we're gonna do our little loop and tail. Just one though, I only did it on the top. Like this. And so the little loop a little bit further away from the leaf, and then bring it back and have that tail come out right next to the leaf. Like that. Secure it with the tape. I think then we're officially done with the ribbon for right now. And we need to stamp Love and Big Hugs on this one. So let's grab this and our chamois. So have you guys ever done this pleated, like paper? It's like a pleated skirt to me. It is, honestly, it was Jill Butzine. She did this for a swap card, and I just cannot put my hands on where her sample is. I had them all together, and I don't know exactly where it is. As soon as I find it, I'll show it off to you guys when I find it. But she did it. I dissected it. I had done it a long time ago, and it had been years since I did it again, which was now. And it's not hard if you have all the measurements, right? But to take it apart and redo it is harder. But if you have all the measurements, you guys will have them in your tutorial. It's pretty easy to knock something like this out. And to make multiples of them too is not so hard once you have the rhythm down. The Love and Big Hugs is going to fit nicely in that one. And that's it for the stamping on the outside here. And this back down here. So you have a little vellum circle, and I think we'll use tear and tape on that as well. I wouldn't use liquid glue because it's going to be going on top of ribbon and it won't stick so well, but with tear and tape, you're going to just put that right on there, and then we're going to take a couple dimensionals and pop them up behind your flower. Judy said she'll be watching the replay many times. I hope, Judy, you're gonna have to watch it before you have your event on Saturday. And I don't know, I haven't checked your tracking to see if you're gonna get your package by hopefully by Friday. That would be awesome. I got everything. There were 6 packages, you guys. I don't know what Pirate Ship did to me. It did something and it bamboozled me last week that 6 people had their packages shipped to the right street address, but in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. It just did not make any sense to me how that even happened. It happened. We're good. We got it caught, and they all have come back, but oh my goodness, I was sad. It was about $60 in wasted postage for me. But lesson learned, double check and triple check things, right? This little guy is gonna come out right here. And then we're gonna glue this little strip down for the inside mat. My mom felt really bad too because she knows where people, she's got eyes on the package, and she has been really good. She catches things, and usually, oh, we have to center that different. We're gonna make a little white border because of how we cut that. She felt bad because she knows like where Latokia Trig lives. She knows her city and state at this point. She sees everything multiple times, and she felt bad too that she didn't catch it. And I guess naughty Nancy would say to me, it's only paper, you know, it's not the end of the world. Nobody died, nobody got hurt, nobody got stolen. So it's just paper. And as much as I agree with that, it's really hard to realize that. So, because you want everything to be just perfect for everybody all the time. So you can see what we did is we made that purple strip a little bit different. It was a 1/4 inch shorter. And so you can see a white border. And then here's how you guys can see what do you like better. Would you rather it be 3/4 by 5 1/4 or 3/4 by 5? And then you put a little white border. Your call. For Gail, I did it that way. And then lastly, you guys, we didn't do so bad for doing 4 cards and having to cut paper and having a little talk in the beginning. You guys, we did it. We kept it down to about 2 hours and 5 minutes. We will, we're going to do a drawing though. We'll do a drawing yet for a door prize for somebody to win a prize for this class. And we're going to put that there. And I've got a little one on there. I don't know if I like that there. I'm going to take that off. It's still little. So we're going to put this one down here and one there. And I think we need one more. We're going to take a big boy and put it right there. Okay. Again, we'll have Gail Stella hers, but Stella it up, make it pretty. And let's ooh and ah and see what we've got here. Yeah, that's the finished one from me. But what we made today, I'm gonna grab the ones that we put together so you guys can see how we did. Lots of purple and coral, you guys. Definitely, and that had to do because of the flowers that were used for this. So there's what we've got. Oh, that one's upside down. We have 2 more purplies. Green is the common denominator. I don't know, how would I pick out a favorite? I almost like this one. I love how different it is to have the pleating and to have the diagonal with it like that. Super cool. So hopefully if you guys are new to that, the instructions were okay to follow along. You guys like them. Oh, Judy checked and it should be there Friday. I am absolutely ecstatic and excited to hear that, Judy. Oh, that's good news. And then you can have it for what you need on Saturday with your gals. Perfect, perfect. So we got Gail's this ready to go for her. We did it, you guys. We got all our 4 fun folds. We had a fun fold stamp-a-stack again. So that's 2 for you guys in the last month. We did Irresistible Blooms, which I'm out of. And we also did this one, which I have with, I think, Cheryl Thomas picked one up today, and Sarah Merchant, I made a note here that you want one. And I could have sworn there might have been one more person early on. And you guys always reach out to me and you know, have a written correspondence that I make sure I get you signed up. That's always amazing. It helps me keep me on my toes. So let's go back here too. I want to see what we had for paper left. And because these, so this is, and then I forgot, we also have this from that first card. We have this left. So out of that whole pack of paper, you guys, it used up, you only have 2 full sheets. So you have a whole sheet of the flowers left over to make more cards if you want. And then you could always add different, like this green could get used, but you have enough of that green to do some more. You have enough for this one to make a little bit more, because you could always use this pattern on the inside, right? So you guys, I'm excited. I hope that you liked the concept of using up a lot of designer paper, because we all tend to hoard it, right? So when I was working on this one, I purposely used up big pieces of paper so that you wouldn't have a lot left, because then it doesn't feel bad, right? Because you're using it. And just a reminder, if you didn't get enough of this and you want to keep using this, this is where we're going to be doing the 3D Stamp-a-Stack of boxes it's the favorite flower Stamp-A-Stack. Think I set it for May 1st. And so you're gonna make, I don't know what I'm gonna put together, so don't judge. I did get this when I put this together in a few minutes right before. I had it all, so I have the boxes, everything's ready to go. My goal before class tomorrow night is to have these 3 boxes done with all the mini cards decorated, ready to put them all out so you guys can see what it's about. I already have about 20 people signed up for this class without even having it done. And I'm planning for 6 more. So I don't have a lot of this class left because it's in like 2 weeks. And but I had to get a number in my head for anything for my helpers to help with. So I do have some left. So, oh, Gwen Petrashik wants the class. All right, Gwen. Oh, Sandy, you're amazing. Thank you for writing that. So Gwen Petrashik, I have you on the list now. Yay, perfect. Pauline Turner, love all these cards, and I have the paper, which I love so much. So that's a big plus. Exactly. Catherine says, beautiful, yay. Great cards, great, great, great. Glad to hear that, you guys. It was fun. I was like, these cards got designed probably a month and a half ago. And so I've been looking at them on my counter for the longest time. And it's always sad when the day comes to actually make them. It is. It's a little sad because then the cards go to another pile of where all my class cards go into like a display box. And then the next class comes out and takes its place. And so it's a little bit bittersweet right now, like seeing all these cards laid out here and then having both classes done. So, but that's how it goes. Susan Warmly would like the box. So Susan, did you sign up already? I already have a bunch of people that signed up for the box class, and I might just take 30 seconds and roll down the names. You guys, if you don't want to stick around for the rest of the class of what we're going to do for the door prize, you don't have to. But in a nutshell, I'll just go through really quick. In case anybody's watching and they want to get the box class, I do have people signed up. I have Ramona Culp, Sherry Everett, Sue Spigner, Latokia, Karen, Helen Chase, Mary Lemke, Pat Thomas, Gail, Jill, Sandy Wicklander, Hildy. I have you signed up for this one. Lynn Beasley, Debbie Gass, Sarah Mitchell, Leslie McMinn, Susan Bellamy, and not Susan Warmly. So Susan, you're on the list now. Very good. So I have got Susan and Susan right next to each other, and that's always how it goes. So Susan, I've got you signed up. So I did this class a little bit less because I was able to get the checker pane window. I'm able to get that at $3. So I passed that discount on to you guys who are signing up for the class. So instead of it being $68, it's actually $63, which is with shipping for anybody that needs it mailed. So Susan, that's what you could send to me. The other thing, yes, I was thinking about the MS benefit, but because that's the following week. So I was just trying to think about how things can be shipped, but that needs to get in the mail because that class is May 1st. I'm planning to mail that class out on April 26th, which is next week, Wednesday. So, which is a week from today. So my goal is to get the cards made and the boxes all made by tomorrow night to show anybody else that wants to get signed up. And then I'm planning to kit that class up on Wednesday and get it in the mail on Wednesday. So yeah, I'm planning for 4 more people. Unless a lot of people come out and say they want to sign up, then I can always plan for more, but right now that's what I'm planning. All right, so we have here for a number of people, we're going to do 40. Oh, we're going to add Sarah Merchant and Gwen to the list. So we have 47 people who signed up for this class, and we are going to do a random number generator to find out who is our door prize winner for it. Hi, Jennifer Jones. I hope you're doing better. I got your card in the mail yesterday. Yay. All right, so we will flip the camera down here really quick and we'll pull up random number generator. We've got 47 people, including Sarah and Gwen. And let's pull up 47 and hit generate. Wow, number 4. It went low this time. Sherry Everett, you are my number 4. All right, good job. All right, Sherry. I will include a door prize in the next package, I hope. That's always the plan, the next package you have going out. And if I miss that one, it's the next one. It happened to Judy Bobo. I forgot to mail her prize. It's sitting on the counter yet, but it'll go out in the next one. So, all right, Susan, if you want to PayPal that right away, that would be phenomenal. I appreciate it so much. Yes, and if anybody else wants to get signed up for the Stamp-A-Stack of cards, with this I have at the moment 48, 49, 50, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 9 left. And so I can definitely accommodate. And then the Stamp-A-Stack with the boxes, I'm open right now for any amount, but definitely planning for 4 more, hopefully. So, all right. Don't forget it's free shipping day, you guys. So you have until 1 p.m. or let's say 12:59 Central Standard Time or 11:59 Mountain Time to get your order in. $75 or more gets you free shipping. And also if you put my host code in, you get a free class to pick out, and you also get your name in for the drawing for an annual catalog stamp set, a new annual catalog stamp set. I'm going to get something new for you. And I think I'm going to wait until May 2nd to order it so that it doesn't have to be a pre-order item. So you're getting by. Okay, well, that's better than not getting by. So that's good. All right. And what else? You guys ready to ride class is tomorrow night. Well, I'll let you know tomorrow night if I have one kit left or not. I have my in-person class tonight, and I'll know after my in-person class if I have any left or not. And if I do, I will be calling that out first thing tomorrow night. Yeah. And don't forget tonight, get your card samples in or your designs or your comments with your post of your pictures of the Share, Create, Inspire, and also the mystery card night that we had on Monday night. So, all right. So live tomorrow again at 6 p.m. Central for the Ready to Ride class. And I'll have lots of cards to share with you guys. We'll have ink, paper, scissors, Let's Just Stamp, and we will also have the 3D boxes. So lots of classes I'll get to share with you tomorrow night. So yay. All right. I don't know if I have anything else I forgot, I'll make sure to mention it tomorrow. So it's been a great class, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it as well. I'm thinking you did. I had lots of positive feedback, so that's awesome. They were lots of fun to make those cards. I was in my element making those cards because they were so pretty and purple and flowery. So, all right. Okay, you guys, lots of sunshine, love, and hugs to you. You enjoy the rest of your day. Stay dry if it's raining lots by you. And I'm going to count to 10. And I know it cuts out early. So at the end, though, if you hear me say something, then it didn't cut out. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Love you long time. We'll check you guys out later. Bye.